Hello everyone, and welcome back to our channel, where stories come to life. Today, we're journeying into a world of ice, magic, and enduring friendship with Hans Christian Andersen's classic fairy tale, The Snow Queen. Once upon a time, a wicked goblin made a magic mirror with a dark twist. This mirror was no ordinary glass. It warped everything good into something ugly. A kind smile? It turned into a sneer. A blooming flower? Just a sad, withered weed. One day, the goblin's clumsy helpers tried to take the mirror to the heavens to mock the angels, but it slipped from their hands and shattered on the ground. The shards scattered everywhere, carried by the wind. If a piece got into someone's eye, it clouded their vision, making them see only the worst. And if it pierced a heart, that heart turned to solid ice. In a lively city, two kids, Kai and Gerda, lived next door to each other. They weren't siblings, but they loved each other like family. In summer, they played in their shared rooftop garden filled with roses. In winter, they cozied up by their windows, watching snowflakes dance and their breath fogging up the glass. Their friendship was truly special. One winter day, while Kai was watching the snow fall, a cursed mirror shard flew into his eye, and another pierced his heart. Just like that, everything changed. The warmth inside him disappeared. He turned cold and cruel, mocking Gerda and their cherished roses. The sweet boy she knew was gone, and the ice was starting to take over. One snowy evening, Kai took his little sled to the town square. Suddenly, a stunning white sleigh glided down the street, pulled by powerful white horses. The driver was the Snow Queen, dressed in fluffy white fur, with skin as pale as snow and frosty eyes. She stopped and invited Kai to join her. As he climbed in, she leaned over and kissed him a kiss as cold as ice. In that moment, all his memories of home, his loving grandmother, and dear Gerda vanished. He felt no chill, just awe, as the sleigh soared into a world of endless white and sparkling ice. Back home, everyone thought Kai had drowned, and his grandma was heartbroken. But Gerda just knew he was still out there. With a fierce determination, she decided to find him, ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. Her love for Kai pushed her to embark on a journey that would test her like never before. On her journey, Gerda met a friendly crow who listened to her story. He mentioned a boy who looked just like Kai, who had just married a clever princess. Hopeful, Gerda asked the crow to take her to the palace. They sneaked through secret passages to the royal bedchamber, waking the prince and princess. They were super kind, but Gerda's heart sank when she realized the prince wasn't Kai. Touched by her story, they gifted her warm clothes, boots, and a golden carriage for her travels. Soon, she arrived at a stunning garden filled with flowers that never wilted. An old woman with a warm smile lived there. She welcomed Gerda, sharing sweet cherries and a cozy bed. But the old woman was lonely and wanted Gerda to stay forever. Using her magic comb, she brushed Gerda's hair, making her forget all about Kai. Gerda felt happy in the garden for what seemed like a little while. But one day she spotted a rose on the old woman's hat. Memories of Kai rushed back, and tears washed away the spell. Remembering her quest, she dashed out to find him. On her journey, Gerda met a friendly crow who listened to her story. He mentioned a boy who looked just like Kai, who had just married a clever princess. Hopeful, Gerda asked the crow to take her to the palace. They sneaked through secret passages to the royal bedchamber, waking the prince and princess. They were super kind, but Gerda's heart sank when she realized the prince wasn't Kai. Touched by her story, they gifted her warm clothes, boots, and a golden carriage for her travels. Gerda's luck took a turn when her golden carriage was ambushed by robbers in a dark forest. They captured her, but the leader's fierce daughter saw her as a toy. As Gerda shared her story about Kai and her quest, the robber girl's tough act softened. Touched by Gerda's loyalty, she made a brave choice. She set Gerda free and gifted her a pet reindeer from the far north, who knew the way to Lapland, the Snow Queen's land. With that, Gerda and the reindeer raced deeper into the snowy north. Their journey was tough, but they made two key stops. First, they met a Lapland woman who gave them directions on a piece of dried codfish. Next, they found a wise Finnish woman known for her magic. Gerda asked her for a spell to defeat the Snow Queen, But the wise woman smiled and said, I can't give you more power than you already have. Your true strength comes from your pure heart and your love for Kai. That love is what has brought you this far and is the only thing strong enough to melt the Snow Queen's ice. With that encouragement, Gerda continued on her journey. She finally made it to the Snow Queen's palace, a huge, lonely place made of ice that sparkled under the northern lights. It was super quiet and freezing. Inside, she found Kai sitting on a frozen lake, looking pale and totally still. His lips were blue, and he was trying to arrange sharp pieces of ice to spell eternity. The Snow Queen promised him that if he could do it, he'd be free forever. But his hands were numb, and his mind was stuck in the cold. Gerda rushed to him, her heart breaking. Kai, it's me, Gerda, she cried, wrapping her arms around his frozen neck. Her warm tears soaked through his clothes, reaching the icy shard in his heart. Slowly, it started to melt. Suddenly, Kai trembled, a tear rolling down his cheek, washing away the mirror piece in his eye. He blinked, and everything came back. He looked at Gerda, his dear friend who had traveled so far to save him. They wept and laughed together, holding each other tightly. Their joy was so powerful that it echoed through the silent ice palace. As they hugged, the pieces of ice Kai had been struggling with began to dance and spin on their own. They magically swirled together and formed the word eternity. The spell was broken. Kai was free. Together, hand in hand, they left the cold palace. The reindeer was waiting for them, and they began their long journey home. As they traveled south, everything started to change. The snow melted, revealing lush green grass, budding trees, and flowers popping up everywhere. The sweet sound of birds filled the air. Spring was back, just like the warmth in their hearts. When they reached their city, it looked just as they remembered. Their two houses stood proud, the windows facing each other, and the rooftop garden was alive with roses beginning to bloom. After a long, tough journey, they were finally home, together, with a love that had triumphed over dark magic. That love? It was the strongest magic of all. Loved having you on this journey. If you enjoyed the story, hit like and subscribe for more. Catch you next time.